Well, hello, my name is Denise, and welcome to my channel, Dish with D. Thank you for clicking on that button and looking at this video. This is how I'm going to start all my videos from now. I'm going to thank you for clicking on the video to watch, because I give anybody credit who wants to watch a weight loss vlogger. That means your weight loss journey is important to you. So first of all, I'd like to thank you for clicking on that watch button, and I'd also ask to hit that subscribe button right down below if you haven't already. If you're not part of the Dish with D community, I'm going to explain in this video what the community is all about. I'm going to start doing that. I usually do that at the end, but not everybody watches to the end because we have a life and we have things to do, and you can't always watch a full video. I know that. So we're going to start off our videos by thanking you for joining us, clicking that subscribe button, and if you wouldn't mind, if you enjoyed it, to hit a thumbs up. I'm not going to make you hit a thumbs up, because if you didn't like it, you don't have to hit it. I get it. You might not like what I have to say. I get it. I do. So this video is been a long time in the making, because this channel has grown in leaps and bounds over the last 4 or 5 months. I just like to welcome everybody who's subscribed, everybody who watches. I know not everybody is subscribed. I'm not sure why you don't subscribe. Somebody at school just asked me, does it cost anything to subscribe to a YouTube channel? I'm like, no. You have to be logged in to a YouTube account. That could be a deterrent for some people. They don't want to log into an account. I get that as well. But you can't leave a comment. You can't give, I just encourage you, if you haven't, to please consider subscribing to your favorite ones. And that bell next to the subscribe is what lets you know when things happen on that channel, when they go live, when they upload a video, and sometimes you might not be notified of your favorite channels doing that. So that's why we say those things. And bottom line, it is good for analytics. YouTube is all about analytics. It's all about how many people watch, when they watch, how long they watch, and if they like and interact with you. So that helps them determine how important I am in the YouTube world. If I get a lot of interaction, then they'll share my video with a bigger channel and get me more, views and stuff like that. So that's why people always say that. So if you didn't know that, that's why. So my name is Denise. Dish with D has been a labor of love, actually. Let's start out about me. Right now, currently, as we watch this video, I am 55 years old. Oh, I am prematurely white. I don't dye my hair like this. This is how it is. I used to be a auburn brunette, but as you see, with all the white coming in, it's just too hard to cover. So I gave up that ship a few years ago. So I just embrace my whiteness. So my hairdresser thinks it makes me look older. She was worried about that, but you know what? It's all about being comfortable in your own skin, and I'm very comfortable with it, so it doesn't usually bother me. I started Weight Watchers, well, many times, but the last go around, I've been on the last 5 plans. I started back 2013, 2014 with Points Plus. I left there for a few odd reasons. I mean, my son had a seizure, my mother was sick. We put everybody else first. I did go back in 2016, and then it was Smart Points. I stayed for most of that and then got a little bit disheartened towards the end, losing that same 5 pounds for 6 months. I get that. So I left in October, and then I went back in February, and it was Freestyle. So I was only going about 3 months, gained like 30 pounds back. Because it comes back easier than to take off. We all know that. Then from that point, that was February of 2018, I have been consistently on Weight Watchers ever since. I've lost 116 pounds on the Freestyle Blue plan. It turned over to Blue. When it turned over to Blue, I lost my last few pounds. So, it's the same plan. So I was technically on that plan and lost all of my weight on that plan. So that plan is near and dear to my heart. So a lot of times you'll hear me mention Blue, Blue, Blue. That is why. Then I did do Personal Points. Now I am still on Personal Points. I'm trying to do just watch my carbs. People are worried that I'm going low carb. I said, listen, I'm Italian. I love my bread and my pasta. So the odds are I'm just trying to be accountable and know what I'm eating, and just try to be a little bit more mindful. If I'm going to have pasta, maybe I'll have less bread that day. If I'm going to have bread, maybe I won't have pasta that day. But one of my big mantras, and if you've watched my channel, it is lose it like you're going to live it. I can't lose one way and live another. It doesn't work. So for me to go, very low carb, no carb would never work. I would never last on keto or something like that. You know, I grew up on bread. We have bread. I grew up in Philadelphia. Bread bakeries on the corner, brick oven bakeries on my corner in Philly. So I've had bread since the womb. So bread is a very big part of my journey, and bread will always be part of my life. So I incorporate that into everything. So like I said, I started the last plans was in my late 40s. I actually was right during menopause. I went early menopause in my late 40s. So from 47, 48 I started. So now I'm 55. So I finished menopause probably before I turned 50. So I did reach my WW goal in December of 2019, right before COVID. And I became a lifetime in January of 2020. I was 270 pounds when I walked in the door. I'm not currently, but we'll get to what I am currently. I did, my goal was 156. I did get a 10-pound doctor's note. I belonged to a franchise at the time, Weight Watchers of Philadelphia, and they required that. I don't think International does, which I am a member now. So that was my goal, 156. So I'm currently 169. I know, that's how much, yeah. It's been a struggle since, it's funny because over COVID and stuff, I did really well. I actually was really, really low. I went down to 150, 152 at one point. But when things started opening up, apparently so did my waistline. So when I went back in February, when meetings opened up here, I went back to, I tried to go to my franchise, but franchise doesn't honor the lifetime status. And lifetime is this, it's $14.99 a month if you're over goal by 2 pounds for meetings and app. So I expected to pay that in the franchise. Now the franchise doesn't do that. The franchise charges whatever they want. They were going to charge me $55. Honestly, I wasn't paying it. I wasn't. So I went to the franchise, which is probably better for me because I met a whole group of people. I've got new leaders, and it's really nice change of pace. Sometimes if you're not losing with the same, you know, I've been with that leader forever. So to have somebody new, a little bit younger, and new people that I haven't, it's been really a good, I'm actually very grateful to have changed. So it cost me $14.95 a month for app and meetings as long as I'm over a goal. And I still am. It's been since July. Here we are now in March. Yes. I don't know why that is, but you know what? I'm not letting it deter me, and I'm not, because I've come so far. So I have to I keep that in my head, and I don't want the number on the scale to be the reason that I get frustrated, because it never was about that for me. It was always about having severe sleep apnea, having severe reflux, and arthritis. There were 3 things that I suffered with when I joined. I was getting back injections every 3 to 4 months for my arthritis in my back. 2, 3, and 4, I believe, is where it is. I haven't gotten an injection in years now because all the weight was in my tummy, and then when that's gone, you take the pressure off the back. So I haven't had an injection, and they call me every once in a while, like, you still okay? I'm like, yeah, I don't need it. Be surprised what losing weight does for your health. Reflux, I could sleep flat on the bed. I haven't taken meds in over 2 years. It's fabulous. Sleep apnea has improved. I went in sleep apnea with 99 episodes an hour. I know, was I even sleeping? I wasn't. 99 episodes an hour net down. Last I was tested was 28 episodes, which is fabulous, but still needs to be treated. So I do sleep with a CPAP machine. And once I got on the CPAP machine, that's when the weight loss started to happen. Now the CPAP didn't help me lose weight. It just made me feel better and rested, that I have the energy to tackle this. That's the difference. You always see people who get treated for sleep apnea lose weight. Why? It's because they feel better. And when you feel better, great things happen. And I do. I sleep 8, almost, if I'm allowed to, if nobody bothers me, I can sleep 8 hours a night. And it's fantastic. I can't nap during the day because I'm not tired, because I'm sleeping properly. So all those things drove me to go to Weight Watchers, because I couldn't breathe. I couldn't walk. I just couldn't do anything, and I felt horrible. So I walked into my Weight Watchers, and you know what, if you stick with the program, it does work. Sometimes we have to tweak the program to what our lifestyle is and about us. Like me, I'm Italian. If you don't know them, 100% Italian. And so for me, it has to be, carbs have to be in there. They just do. I just have to find a way to really just maybe not have so many in the same day, like separate them. So I'm working on keeping more of an account of that. I'm thinking, a few of you guys have sent suggestions, which is fabulous. There's a great community here if you're new here. Her doctor said 30 carbs per meal, which would be 90 for the day. I can do that. I'm going to keep it between 75, I think, and 90 per day. That's my goal. It's like I said, it has to be a livable goal. It's like anything else. I could do under 50 for a while, drop the weight, but am I going to live the rest of my life like that? I'm not. So I have to lose it like I'm going to live it, because if you don't, the weight will creep back or it'll come back quickly. And we've worked too hard for that to happen. So that is why, that's, you know, there's nothing changing here that people are worried, oh my God, you're going low carb. I'm just going carb conscious. I want to be conscious of what I'm eating and conscious of how much I'm having, because Weight Watchers doesn't account for that. It's all about points. It's points, it's points. Yes, carbs are made into those points, but sometimes not all points are created equal, because they're just different mechanisms and your body changes over time. All I'm doing is just being conscious of what I'm eating. I'm trying to amp up my protein, because protein's always good, and just keep account of my carb intake. That is all. What does this channel offer? People ask me that all the time. This is a fantastic community, and I just want to thank you for hitting that subscribe button. The community is fantastic. I will say one of the best in the planet, in my opinion. We offer what I do as a holistic approach to weight loss, because there's one thing, yeah, we could watch what we're eating, but we have to do many other things. So one of those things is movement. You didn't hear me say exercise, I said movement. Why? Because I don't like exercise, but I need to move. You have to keep your body in motion. You just do. The older you get, you know, all these little things creep up, so you have to, you know, keep our butt. Now we're being rewarded through Weight Watchers for our activity now and getting points, and I kind of understand that to a point. So what I do, I created, it'll be 2 years next month actually, it was when COVID, is what I call Glam Squad. It is a workout group. We work out 2:30 Eastern time on Zoom, and all the information for that is in the Facebook group. We'll talk to that. And all the, it's just, we work out, you know, if you've ever been on Zoom, we share the screen of the Leslie Sansone 1 mile walk. It's usually 18 to 20 minutes. And there's our little squares are right there. There's about, depending on the day, there can be 15 people there. And I know some people are just embarrassed for the way they look. You don't have to turn your camera on. You don't. As long as you're there doing it, and you don't have to keep up with Leslie, you don't have to keep up with anybody. You can do the best you can, because the best you can is, as long as it's better than yesterday, it's great. And then at the end, we have about 10 minutes after that, because, you know, the Zooms are only 35 minutes, I think 38 to 40 minutes. So then we chat, and then you can pop on and say hi, and maybe you have a question, or you just need to connect with people. It is, I love to call it like the great supportive friend group that understands your plight, because we're all going through it. So I do that every day. I'm hoping to increase it to twice a day for people who can't make that time eventually. Not now, I'm working right now. You didn't know, I think I didn't mention that. I am currently a teacher's aide in 1st grade. Yes, I've been doing that probably for 15 years. Prior to that, I was a registered medical assistant. The things I used to do back in, I can't even believe how I multitasked. But once we got married and moved over here and had the kids, I had my boys, I have Irish twins. So it was just too much to go back to work having 2 babies. So once the kids got off to go to school, I went to work at the school. It was just easier for their schedule. And I've been there ever since. And I have 3 boys, if you didn't know. Patrick is the bonus child. He was my husband's. His mother passed away of a brain tumor. And Patrick is going to be 30, I think, next year. He just turned 29. He'll be 30. Steve and I have been married it'll be 25 years this April. I'm like, oh my gosh. That's crazy, the fact we've been married 25 years. I don't feel 25 years older, but yes. Then we had Timothy and Peter. Timothy is 24, or he'll be 24. Yes, he'll be 24. He's always a year younger than we've been married. Timothy will be 24 and Peter will be 23 this coming. They were both born in July 8th and July 25th, 11 and a half months apart. I know. Who knew? Who knew? And Timothy, the middle child, is in the seminary. He's studying to be a priest. That's a bit funny when you know me, like, your son's studying to be a priest. I know. You just never know, you know? You just don't. You don't know what your kids are going to want to do. So that's his story. Mother of a seminarian. So yeah. So that is what I do. I work at the school from 9 to 1. So then I come home, we do Glam Squad. I also do I call it a rambling. On my way to work, I only work 10 minutes from here. I do not take the highway. I live in southern New Jersey, so it's very rural here. So it's just some country, I call them country roads, you probably would call them. They're not highways, but people get worried when I vlog. And I just do a 10-minute rambling of just stuff. You know, whatever's in my head and running through my head that morning, I call it my rambling. So that comes usually every day. I post that. And I do lives here on the channel. Sunday night through Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, right here on my YouTube channel. When you're subscribed and hit that notification bell, you'll get notified that I go live. It is done on Eastern time. That's the time zone I live in. So you're all welcome to come. You just show up and you can chat. The lives are so fantastic because there are tips that get shared there. People share their victories, their triumphs, with things that didn't go right. You know, if they have, if they're feeling bad about themselves, they come on, and sometimes you need somebody to say, hey, it's okay. It's okay. You got this. You will do better. You will do better tomorrow. And it's kind of like a weight loss support chat. And you come as much as you want. You want to come every night, come every night. You want to come for 5 minutes, you come for 5 minutes. You don't want to, it's up to what you need. If you're having a bad day, I say come to the lives. The lives are just, there are really, you leave there pumped up, you leave there with ideas. Hey, I know what I'm going to have for breakfast, I know what I'm going to have for a snack because somebody suggested it. So it's not always about me. There's a lot that goes on in the chat part of it. And I do post that chat after we're done. So if you can't make it for some reason, you just want to watch it, or sometimes it's almost like a podcast, but you have to watch it. You can listen to it, but you wouldn't hear what they have to say because I can't always read and talk. It's a bit difficult because I'm reading and talking, but you'll see the chat on the replay if you have that enabled in your YouTube studio. You could see the chat, so you could read it and then know why I'm saying what I'm saying. But I said, there's a lot of fabulous stuff that goes on there. And in the Facebook group, which is a private group, a lot of stuff gets shared there any time of the day. If you have a question about a recipe, if you have something you need answered, it's not always going to be me because there's a lot of good, knowledgeable people that belong to that group, and somebody will answer your question. And that's where all the Glam Squad info is at. It's a pinned post. We also made a cookbook twice now. We've made one last year and this year where people just send in their recipes, their favorite, whether it be Weight Watchers, a family heirloom recipe, and we made a digital cookbook. So that's in the group as well. So there's a lot there, and they're just really, so I've never had to kick anybody out yet. Now I will say there are trolls that come to the live. I can't be responsible for that, but in the group, it's fantastic. So it's kind of a holistic approach to weight loss. We have our support, we have our group, we have our workouts. So we have a lot of things. We're doing a challenge right now called the Lenten challenge. It's not really about Lent, it's just Lent is 40 days, and I like that timeline. So we're picking something we want to work on our journeys. Could be water, could be vegetables, could be movement, could be tracking. Whatever you need to work on, you try doing it for 40 days. I needed to work on vegetables, I need to work on water, and now watching my carbs. And I also am incorporating clearing out stuff. Like every day I've promised that I will put one item in a donation box, and I've been doing really, really well. I've got some nice stuff in that box because we're having a yard sale at the church right after Easter. So every day I said I'd put one thing in there. I could put more than one, but everything, there has to be one thing. So I've been really good about it. I've been parting with some really things that I didn't think I would part with, but I don't eat them, you know? Things that bring me joy, yeah, I can't part with those. But some things you're kind of like, yeah, that doesn't bring me anything. It really doesn't. But yeah, my cookbooks bring me joy, so none of them got in that box. Just saying. So there's so many wonderful things about the Dish with D community that I really want you to embrace and enjoy. And there's so much that goes on, and there's so many fabulous people. You've just signed up. Doesn't cost you anything. You've just signed up for a great community. You're going to be like, wow, where was this community last year? It was here. You just didn't know about it. Now that you do, embrace it. And sometimes if you're off plan, you could still just pop in once in a while and just listen. And maybe that'll inspire you to get back on plan. Hey, nobody's perfect. And that's what's great about this group, especially, and my mantras are always, it happens, it's life, and it's a journey, and not every journey is going to be, every day is going to be perfect. There's days where yesterday I ate too many molten chocolate milk balls. I did. It is what it is, you know. It happened. Do I sit there and cry over it? No. Do I quit? No. I just sit there and say, you know what? Tomorrow's a new day, and I will, and I haven't had any today yet. It is almost the end of the day. So I'm mighty proud of myself. It just happens, and you have to realize that, yes, it happens. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't sit there and say, it's never going to happen. I'm never going to have that. I wish I could say I was never going to have something. I just know that I need to deal with it correctly. I can't sit there and make myself feel bad for it. I don't need to feel bad that I ate something. It's food. It's chocolate. You know, it's not much you can do about it. You just have to, you know, dust yourself off, and you have to say it's okay and move on. You have to, because you could spiral into something, and I don't want to see that happen, and quit. And oh, let me tell you something, you will gain 50 pounds back like that. Trust me, I know that. So that is like even now, like I'm 10 pounds over. I have to think about it. It's only 10 pounds. If I let it get into my head and think, oh my God, I can't. I won't allow myself to be obsessed about a number on the scale, and I don't want you to be either. And if Weight Watchers has your goal too low, you're in charge. Don't let them dictate what you should weigh. Nobody needs to dictate that but you. And your doctor, of course. But you need to know what's good for you. Like, what is your history? I also didn't mention, yes, I'm 55 years old. I've been heavy for 45 years. I started gaining weight when I was 10, when puberty hit. Puberty hit, I have not looked back. I am smaller now than I was in high school. So yeah, even if I stay the way I am right now, I'm still a winner. I'm still fabulous. I'm still healthy. You know, people have a skewed idea of what healthy is and what healthy looks like. You're the only one that can determine that, not anybody else. Yeah, society's going to say, she's a size 10. She's not small. Well, I feel like a swimsuit model, and you should too. And it's up to you. It's all up here, this journey. It's all up here. I'm going to give you a little bit of hint about that. We think it's our stomach. It's not. It's our head. Sometimes you're head hungry. You're not belly hungry. You just want it. There's no rhyme or reason why you want it, but you just do. What I always say is try to find something to substitute for that hits that note. To sit there and not have it is just going to make you want it more. Like I always say, sometimes we deny ourselves and it makes us want it more, and then we have way too much of it. That's why I created a lot of interesting recipes. If you ever see my videos, there's a whole playlist of chocolate, of pumpkin, of things like mug cakes. It's this big. It's a few points. You could fit it in any day of the week if you need a piece of cake. Don't feel bad about needing a piece of cake. If you have that cake versus that bakery cake, you're saving tons of points. And you have to really know who you are, know what's important to you, know what you can't live without. You have to, because it's never going to change. I love cake. I love sweets. I do. So I find a way to fit them in. I find a way to make them lower in points, because that's me. My dad was the biggest sweet eater you'd ever want to meet. We would go somewhere, if there was a buffet, he'd hit the sweets first, then go get his food, because he wanted his sweet plate. So it's been, like I said, part of I can tell you stories. Yeah. The one that sticks out really quickly is he bowled on Monday nights. And the bowling alley was right behind a bakery. And the guy who ran the bakery bowled. So they would go to the bakery. And it was an all-night bakery. They used to bake the donuts during the night. And he would come home with, this was not like Dunkin' Donuts bakery. This was a bakery. And he would come a brown box with fresh bakery donuts that were like the size of your head. Every Monday night, I had a brown box of donuts come to my house, where I got my love for chocolate glazed. Yes, or the long crullers. So, and my parents never said, Denise, don't have that. Denise, you have to watch your weight. I was always beautiful. I was always perfect. Never did they ever make me feel bad about it. So that's, growing up that way, that's kind of why it took me so long, because I thought I looked good, you know, until society goes, you don't. Society's not always right. They're not. So remember, oops, that cut me off. Sorry about that. So it's about you, not about anybody else, and don't let anybody else tell you differently. You're in charge. You decide. You know what's better for you, not society and not anybody else. No magazine, no television, no, you know, cousins. You got family who have opinions, and you will meet the haters. You will meet the haters, and you will meet people that always have something to say about what you do. You're in charge, not them. And haters are going to hate. Most times I think haters hate because they wish they could do what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like they're jealous because you're on that plan and I should be watching my weight too, and I'm not. But so they will be not so nice to you, and they will find fault with everything that you do because they want that and they just aren't strong enough to do it. So be mighty proud of yourself for having the strength to do it, because let me tell you something. This is hard. Weight loss is hard because food is an addiction for most of us, and we have to live with our addiction. We have to, like, if you're addicted to alcohol and drugs, it's not like you're having alcohol and drugs to tell you not to. We have to live with food. We have to find a way to coexist with food. We have to eat it still. So it's difficult. It's extremely difficult. So don't let anybody tell you it's easy. It's easy. It's not easy. And if somebody tells you it's easy, I'm not sure what they're doing, because it's not. It's not. It's one of the hardest things you'll ever have to do. So I am mighty proud of you for taking the time to do it for yourself. So if nobody didn't tell you today, I'm proud of you. So that is it. I'm going to end this video. I didn't mean to talk this long. So if you made it to the end, let me know you made it to the end. And I thank you for watching. I thank you. And like I said in the beginning, if you hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up if you liked it, and let me know if you're new here. Have a great rest of your day. We will dish another day, my dishers.